My name is Wreck Apocalypse. I'm coming to you today because I saw a piece of content that from a great channel, but I feel at this point might this was just a bad piece and needs to be directly spoke about. Now we have a Miss Grace Randorf. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I might be saying it wrong, and for that I do apologize. Um, Discussing the Black Panther 2018 with the cast of Michael B. Jordan um, and Chris Boseman and director Ron Coogler. The young lady named uh, Limit Nogoho, which once again, if I'm butchering it, I apologize. Um, she was discussing the announcement, the directors, the cast, the crew, and then around I would say exactly at 1751, it kind of went downhill. And what I mean by downhill is basically it became a form of, in my opinion, race baiting, inequality baiting, and just overall white people versus black people type sentiment was going on. Now, this is why. And with the link below that I will provide, she was speaking about how Sylvester Stallone went to Golden Globes. At that point, he thanked his family and everything else, but completely neglected to even mention the black cast, so forth, so forth. So I was curious. I went online, finally looked it up, and I came across the the interview with the actual director speaking on exactly this subject matter. And he very simply said there was a lot going on that night, a lot of emotion, because, Denzel Washington got a Lifetime Achievement Award, you got Sylvester Stallone who got this Globe Award, and so forth, so forth. And he doesn't fault him for, not saying anything right then and there, but he like literally came back on stage, stopped the music, and went on this whole piece. Want to thank him and the rest of the cast and crew that helped him make the movie and be part of the movie, so forth, so forth, so forth. And he like, and when at the interview, like, I have no ill will to Stallone. I still need to thank him for letting me make this movie, being a part of this movie, and the list went on and on. Now, some could speculate why he just conforming to the Hollywood thing because Sylvester Stallone got a lot of power. But in actuality, not everything. People do make simple mistakes, and it doesn't always is the least common denominator. Just saying. That and there's little things. Stallone has done a lot of things that's been questionable over here, but I don't see him doing that. I see him have a very good history and whatnot, having black people in his films and whatnot. Suited Denzel, not Denzel, but Wesley Snipes out of prison. He cast him immediately into the Expendable series and things of that nature. So I don't really feel that Sly Stallone is at all this, part of the all white all the time in Hollywood. I think it was an obvious mistake. I think he was overcome with emotion and forgot to have everything in an acceptance speech, and it just went awry. But he did correct it. The people that was involved didn't feel that way, and it's documented. It's online. Like, I literally can show you, put in the link below where he talks about this, and there's no ill will. But you keep going on back onto how he doesn't need a white actor to show that he can get this movie, accomplished and take off. The fact how low the Doc's number was because it was, and it was just like kind of like this whole divide between people, what have you, and everything else. And I felt that it was just a form of inequality baiting, race baiting, and it was just basically uncalled for, and in my personal opinion, poor taste. And poorly researchedly done. Because I managed to find the information I have, like I said, in less than 15 minutes. So yeah, I mean there is inequality in this world, and there's a lot of things, but we constantly don't need trying to divide us, especially the media love dividing us in general into, you know, this white people over here, black people over there, and just constantly divide. We really need to come together as as a normal human race and stop trying to come up with, race baiting. I felt that this whole thing was in a lot of ways just to get views by trying to put out white guilt um, to the white audience to make them feel bad about the situation, and black people trying to bait us to make us feel like we're once again getting screwed over, and this guy here is going to do that. It's just ridiculous, and it's in poor taste, and it just needs to stop. And I'm just saying to Ms. Rondorf, hopefully this is like a one-time deal, but if I keep on seeing in the future about, you know, race, about constantly trying to throw race into it, and it winds up being after I look into it, because normally I just like listen to it and just be like, okay, that's cool. Now I feel the need that every time I hear peace now after this that involves anything about race, that I have to potentially have to do my own research to see if you're even telling the correct facts at that point in time. In closing, there's a couple of things I want to make sure I convey right now. Miss Randorf um, does great work normally. This is one time that I felt this was a shoddy job, and I'm just bluntly saying it like that. I also feel that this is not a call to action for people to troll her, disrespect her, go off on her, and the whole slew of other things that usually happen on the internet when someone critiques someone else or what have you, and then becomes like just bashing of that individual into oblivion. Uh, that's not what I'm calling for. I am calling for that basically in the future, don't use my community as a form of baiting, because it's just poor taste, and after a while, more people like myself will catch on, and I hate to see the channel become less than what it is due to the fact of just poor content. So that's it. I'm Wreck Apocalypse, and I'm out.